What's up, YouTube? This is Mathwas97 and welcome to episode number 53 of my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. This is the go-home edition of SmackDown prior to Extreme Rules, and we are here with SmackDown, and we're kicking things off with a confrontation between our newest SmackDown superstar, Adrian Neville, and the inspirational Bo Dallas. Eric Rowan defeated the Great Khali in singles competition with Luke Harper in his corner. Darren Young defeated William Regal, so Darren building some more momentum heading into Extreme Rules in that triple threat #1 contenders match. The next matchup on the card, we saw a match between Los Matadores, who defeated the New Day. Well, that's a new low for the New Day. Wade Bad News Barrett, the #1 contender for the WWE Championship, takes on the Real American Jack Swagger. And in the main event, well, maybe we can get an answer to all of this random nonsense that has been going on, as Goldust is going to be facing off against Christian in the main event. Christian making a guest appearance that I guess can kind of make up for Mark Henry's assault on Raw at the beginning of the month. I mean, considering Mark Henry was a SmackDown superstar, he made the appearance on Raw that he should not have, so I guess this it makes it almost a fair game, I guess, you know. A Raw superstar appeared on SmackDown, so we're going to have a SmackDown guy appear on... I did that in reverse order. Whatever. We'll get to that when we get to that, but we're kicking things off with something that makes more sense. Yeah, we're kicking things off with the high-flying man that gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, and he'll be going on to face Bo Dallas. Do you believe Adrian Neville has a chance against Bo Dallas? I believe it, but I don't know. Should I believe it? Or is Bo Dallas going to be the superior man in this matchup? I mean, Bo Dallas, he's undefeated so far. No man has been able to defeat Bo Dallas in the... What has he competed in? About 5-6 matches, I think. I haven't really been keeping track. But he has defeated a fair amount of superstars, to his credit. But does he have what it takes to defeat someone the caliber of Adrian Neville? I guess we're going to find that out here tonight. The go-home show to Extreme Rules, and we saw that the kickoff match for the last 2 episodes have been, you know, they've been pretty back and forth, pretty good. I can't think of another word. I'm sorry. I've done the past 2 commentaries already in a row, and now this one, so I apologize if my lexicon of dictionary terms is a bit less, and my commentary is a bit duller and simpler than it would normally be. But that tends... I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. But this is just what happens. If I do too much talking for too long, I start rambling and going on tangents. So let's stop that. Neville and Dallas competing here tonight. Side Russian leg sweep right there by Bo Dallas. As Adrian Neville, he made his debut in the last episode of SmackDown at the Slammy Awards. So I don't think Neville could have asked for a bigger stage to make his debut. I mean, in terms of a realistic debut, that's probably the biggest stage that Neville could have gotten. And, you know, he capitalized on his opportunity, and he was able to score the victory over Santino fairly quickly. But now tonight, he's not going up against just another jobber. He's going up against a bona fide superstar in Bo Dallas. So we'll see how Neville fares here tonight. So far, he's looking... so far, so good for Neville, with a nice snap suplex there, taking down Bo Dallas. As Neville's holding his own against Dallas here tonight. Of course, Bo Dallas, a former NXT champion. Adrian Neville, a former NXT champion. I mean, these two, they feuded for the NXT championship. That was when Adrian Neville began his legendary reign as NXT champion, when he defeated Bo Dallas. So these two have history with each other. It may be, you know, their first time facing off here on Universe Mode, here on the main roster, but they do have history from NXT. And Bo Dallas looking for redemption here tonight after Neville, you know, I can't even speak. After Neville took the NXT Championship away from Dallas, Dallas here tonight, he's looking to try to take Neville's victory away. Try to take away Neville's debuting momentum. Try to set Neville back, but Neville delivers a nice kick right to the chest of Bo Dallas, and then takes him down with a nice moonsault right there. Counter, though, by Bo Dallas as he countered the neckbreaker attempt and delivers one of his own to Adrian Neville. As Bo Dallas now dragging Neville to the center of the ring. Counter, though, by Neville as he sweeps out the legs of Bo Dallas. As, oh, what a super kick by Neville. Almost out of nowhere. Bo Dallas never saw that coming. And Adrian Neville, that's definitely going to turn the tides in his favor as he's wrapping up the legs of Bo Dallas. What is he going for here? Oh my goodness, what a move. Just putting so much torque on the legs and then just the driving the knee right into the back of Bo Dallas. That's going to hurt. Bo Dallas, he's going to be feeling that in the morning. But Bo Dallas able to turn the match back in his favor with a nice running bulldog. Not to be confused with the running Bodog. And now he delivers a nice drop kick to the side of the head of Neville. Picking Neville up, going for a neck breaker, but it's countered by Neville this time. And a drop kick, dropping Bo Dallas. As now Dallas hits another running bulldog. Softening Neville up perhaps for the running Bodog. And Neville, what is Bo Dallas going to do here? Well, he's going after the announce table. I don't know what Bo Dallas plans to do with that, but Neville, he's not having any of it. He's going to keep this match in the ring where you'd have to argue that Neville has the advantage. I mean, Neville, he flies around that ring. I guess if you take the top rope away from Adrian Neville, you take away the ropes, stuff for Neville to drop. Oh my goodness, the inverted Frankensteiner. Well, I guess if you take away something for Neville to jump off, well, then he'll just do that. But Dallas, he's able to hang in this thing, keeps himself alive, but just barely. And wait, counter by Dallas into a side wrestling leg sweep. And Bo Dallas, he's going to have to try to wrap this up quickly. Wait a minute. Oh, the Bo Dazzler connects. And he may have just put Neville away. 2 count. No, kick out by Neville. As well, I was saying, the longer it goes, I thought Neville was going to have the advantage, but Bo Dallas managed to turn this match back in his favor. And Adrian Neville, what's he going to do here? Irish whip to Dallas, sends him off the ropes into a nice Japanese arm drag. And Bo Dallas, he's in dire straits at the moment. Adrian Neville could be closing in on the victory here. Could just be one big move away from putting Dallas to bed here. Sends him over the top rope. What could Neville be thinking here? Oh no, Neville's not going to do this. Shades of Seth Rollins on Raw. Neville delivers the apron DDT. And that could have put Bo Dallas away right there. Neville, if he can just get Dallas back in the ring and cover him, Neville has got the biggest victory so far in his career. A huge launching point, perhaps, for Neville. As look at this. Adrian Neville, he's looking to try to springboard back in the ring. Was looking for a springboard 450 splash, but he missed it. And that's why they call it high-risk offense, folks. Cover off the clothesline by Dallas. Oh, but Neville just barely kicks out of that one. But that's when he missed that 450 splash, it took a lot out of him. And Bo Dallas realizes that. He's looking to try to put Neville away quickly here as he sets him up for the DDT right there. Double underhook DDT. Dallas hooks the leg. Dallas scores the victory over Neville here tonight. And a valiant effort by Neville. For a moment there, I thought he had Dallas beat. But when he went for that springboard 450 splash, and he missed it, it took too much out of him. That's why they call it high-risk offense, because Neville put his body on the line, and he crashed and burned. And that just opened up Bo Dallas for a huge opportunity. The opportunity Dallas needed to strike, and he certainly took advantage of that opportunity. As I thought that clothesline might have been enough, but it still took enough out of Adrian Neville to set him up for that double underhook DDT. And that was it. That was all Bo Dallas needed to put away Adrian Neville. So Bo Dallas, he has just shut down Adrian Neville here tonight. As Neville's, well, last week I said the sky wasn't even the limit for what Neville could achieve, but maybe he's hit that glass ceiling. Bo Dallas here tonight. He's going to take a victory lap. as Bo Dallas, I mean, a victory over Neville, I mean, he may be the new kid on the block, but a victory over Adrian Neville is no easy feat. So Bo Dallas, he deserves to celebrate. He deserves to take a victory lap, as the inspirational Bo Dallas will continue to inspire the youngins in the audience and the superstars in that locker room for more weeks, more months, perhaps even more years to come. And now we're going to move on to the next matchup, as this one is the showcase of the #1 contender, Wade Barrett, and the former United States champion, Jack Swagger. So Wade Barrett, he's looking to bring the Barrett barrage here to Friday Night SmackDown. He's bringing it back, baby. And he's got a bag of bullhammers ready for Jack Swagger. At least that's what JBL would say, I think. I don't really know what JBL's saying half the time. But Jack Swagger here tonight, the real American, he is looking to get back on track. After suffering a loss to Damien Sandow last night on Main Event, Jack Swagger needs a bounce-back victory. And if he could score a win over the #1 contender for the WWE title, that could really put Swagger in good positioning. Not just in the Intercontinental Championship rankings, but in the WWE Championship rankings. Excuse me. I mean, we're not really sure where Swagger wants to go with his career at the moment, and I'm not even sure if Swagger really knows. I mean, I'm sure he wants to go after the WWE Championship. He wants to get to the top, but at the moment, I mean, just look at the main event, you know, the main event roster we got up there. We got guys like Wade Barrett, Sheamus, Mark Henry, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, perhaps. Whenever we see Bray Wyatt, I mean, I don't know. I'm still not sure what kind of injuries Bray may have sustained at WrestleMania. But Bray Wyatt's always a threat. You can't ever count him out of anything. So, Swagger, perhaps he does want to go after the Intercontinental Championship, which has been a very prestigious title in his own right. I mean, prior to Titus O'Neil, the only men who held the title, I mean, and the Intercontinental Championship has been the title that has changed hands the least amount of times in Universe Mode. And every time a superstar wins the title, they hold on to that thing for a long time, let me tell you. I mean, Christian in his own right held the championship prior to Jack. I mean, at that point, Christian had the longest reigning championship title run in Universe Mode. And then, of course, Swagger went on to surpass it. And then it was surpassed, Swagger's reign was surpassed by the previous Intercontinental Champion, Ryback. And now we've got Titus O'Neil, who is only the 4th man to hold the title. And the only reason Miz held the championship to begin with was just because he was the default champion to start off the series. So really, I mean, if you even want to count, if that even counts as being a champion, then, I mean, if it doesn't count, then really there have only been 2 legitimate champions. If you don't see just starting with the title as a legitimate title reign, then in that case, I mean, heck, Santino Marella was once the United States champion, but who even remembers that? I mean, I'm sure over half of, I gotta say, like, probably over like 75-80% of my audience didn't even watch at the time, so no one probably even remembers that or had ever seen it. But I mean, just here, let me give you some numbers as to, wait a minute, you know, let me stop focusing on statistics for a moment. Let's look at this. Wade Barrett wins a change, 2 count, but Swagger kicks out. I'm getting too focused on statistics and less focused on the match, and that is bad commentary. So as we can see, Swagger, Irish whip, sending Barrett off the rope. Barrett counter. Oh! What a belly-to-belly suplex right there to Jack Swagger. As Wade Barrett, he's got Swagger in trouble. And here's the bare-knuckle brawler just unleashing with a flurry of right hands to the face of Jack Swagger. And coming off of that loss to Damien Sandow last night on Main Event, Swagger, he can't afford to lose this matchup. He needs the win here tonight over Barrett. And he certainly can't afford to fall behind because he's not, I mean, Barrett's got momentum, far more momentum than Swagger does at this point. So Swagger, he has to come out with offense now. He has to start off on the offensive. But at the moment, Wade Barrett is controlling the pace of this matchup. He's wrestling his style of matchup, taking the match to the outside. But Swagger, he's going to try to counter here with an arm breaker. Perhaps trying to use Wade Barrett's attempt at offense against him. Oh, look at Swagger. Amateur wrestling takedown out onto the floor. And Barrett, well, this is Barrett's environment, but Swagger, he's managed to turn the tides against him, so Barrett, he's going to get this back in the ring. And that you could argue that that's where Swagger has the advantage, as he's more of a technical superstar, more of a technician. I just said technical. I'm sorry, I lost the other phrase I was going for. But Swagger, he is more of a wrestler. Barrett's more of a brawler. So Barrett delivers a nice knee lift to the gut of Swagger, and a bullhammer for his troubles. May have just knocked Swagger out. Covered by Barrett. 3. What? No way. You gotta be kidding me. Is this an April Fool's joke? You're a bit late, Swagger. It's May. It's a little late for an April Fool's joke. How did Swagger kick out of the bullhammer? It's an elbow to your head. How did Swagger survive that? I have no idea. But Swagger, if he wanted to prove himself tonight, well, I think kicking out of a bullhammer is certainly a great way to do that. Barrett, he's got to be stunned at this point, as he's going to continue to go on the attack, driving the knee into the rib cage of Jack Swagger. Goes into the cover, 2 count, and Swagger kicks out again. I thought that bullhammer might be taking some effect on Swagger. And, you know, we've seen it in the past where it's just, if they kick out of the finisher, it just takes one big move following that to put the opponent away. But Swagger, he's hanging on. He's going the extra mile here tonight. As Barrett, I mean, what does Barrett have to do to put Swagger out? This is certainly more of a fight from Swagger than we saw last night on Main Event against Sandow. But Swagger, nonetheless, he continues to fight on. Knee right to the side of the head of Barrett. But Barrett, back to his feet, rakes the eyes of Jack Swagger. And that's going to give Barrett the opening he needs, as he's got Swagger by the back of the head, dragging him around the ring here. And this is not good for Swagger. That's not where he wants to be if we've seen any of Barrett's matches in the past. This is danger zone for Swagger, as Barrett measuring him for the big boot to the face. Swagger falling out of the ring to the floor. Wade Barrett, he dropped to a knee but quickly recovers. And he's going out of the ring, as Swagger may have just got knocked out there. If the bullhammer didn't knock him out, well, I guess the big boot didn't knock him out either, as Swagger, he's gotten his bell rung so many times in this matchup. He may have a concussion, but Swagger, he's fighting on. He's shown that he's got guts, as now driving the elbows into the side. And maybe, does he have guts or is he just stupid? Swagger even taking the time to showboat here, doing push-ups on Wade Barrett's back. I mean, come on. That's just arrogance. That's Swagger if I've ever seen it. As Swagger, he continues to fight on. Counter, though, is Barrett able to duck the punch. But Swagger got caught now, as here's Barrett. You got to think that showboating from Swagger's resilience is just making Barrett that much more frustrated. Could that be it? And it is. Wade Barrett off the suplex, just finally. All the damage added up. One more, just Swagger getting dropped on his head there from that suplex. I mean, Swagger, he wasn't going to kick out of that. It was just, he had taken so much punishment. I'm amazed that he managed to last as long as he did. But somehow he managed to hang on, and just, you know, kind of the whiplash from that suplex. And, of course, the big boot, the bullhammer, it just all added up. Swagger, he was done. Wade Barrett, he gets the victory here tonight. So not only did Barrett look impressive, but Swagger, he managed to show that he's got more endurance than I gave him credit for. And I guess that proves why he was the longest reigning United States champion of the series thus far. But now it's time that we move on to the main event for this episode. A controversial, confusing main event, but it's a main event nonetheless. As, let's be fair, if you want me to kind of break kayfabe for a moment, this was the rivalry I set up. It's the fantasy rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Goldust, which wasn't really that interesting, to be honest. Not much really happened from it. But what happened was, it was before the WWE draft. Christian was still on SmackDown, and the World Champion is involved in this rivalry. So Christian was kind of brought into this rivalry, even when I drafted him to Raw. So, yeah, it's still kind of fallout from that. And, you know, just putting everything together, it does work out. I mean, Mark Henry, he made a random appearance on Raw, so Christian coming over to SmackDown balances that out. Cody Rhodes now down to ringside. He's going to watch this one very closely. As we do know, Goldust is going to be in the triple threat, the #1 contenders triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. So a victory over the World Heavyweight Champion would definitely be good for Goldust. And I mean, even if he would lose at Extreme Rules, victory over the World Heavyweight Champion, should Christian retain. I mean, I guess at this point, Christian hasn't been the most dominant world champion since going over to Raw. I mean, he lost to Alberto Del Rio, he lost to Kane on main event, and if he would lose to Goldust here tonight, that would just be another loss for Christian. So perhaps maybe the Raw roster is tougher than Christian was expecting. I mean, the adjustment hasn't really been completely made. He's been struggling to try to find his own there on Raw. I mean, he is the top dog, but he's not looking too much like it. He's looking like a wounded animal as opposed to being the top dog. But here tonight against Goldust, he gets one more opportunity to go into Extreme Rules on a high note, as he did lose to Kane on main event, so he really needs a victory to kind of build some sort of momentum, to salvage whatever kind of momentum he can at this point heading into Extreme Rules. And we already saw Ziggler get the win on Raw, so Christian, he needs to get some kind of a victory. He needs to have some sort of momentum, no matter how small, heading into the match against Dolph Ziggler, because Ziggler, he's been looking very impressive. Christian, not so much. So Christian, this is one last opportunity for him to make a final impression heading into Extreme Rules. Goldust, on the other hand, the same goes for him. He could go for some momentum heading into the #1 contenders match against his brother Cody and Darren Young. And Cody Rhodes here tonight, he gets another opportunity to kind of scout out his brother, just see what Goldust is going to be bringing to the table come Extreme Rules. Look at this springboard sunset flip by Christian. Has Goldust stacked on his shoulders. Kick out by Goldust. But yeah, there has been a bit of dissension brewing between Goldust and Cody Rhodes as well. So Cody Rhodes here tonight, you know, just maybe trying to get inside Goldust's head a little bit. Play a little bit of mind games. But Goldust, just hung up Christian there on the ropes. As Goldust stepping back in the ring here. And he's picking Christian up to his feet. But Christian with a counter. And Goldust sent back over the top rope. And now gets hung up with a nice hot shot there on the apron. Goldust getting all hung up on the ropes. And that'll take the wind right out of you. As Christian now looking perhaps for a suplex. Countered by Goldust into a neck breaker out on the floor right there. Christian, that could take its toll. But Christian, he's able to counter, bounce back, and quickly recover as he takes Goldust down now. And now drives an elbow right into the heart of Goldust. Christian picking Goldust up to his feet. Christian now, we're up to a 5 count, perhaps trying to get back in the ring. Goldust prevented him from doing so, and wait a minute. Cody Rhodes up to his feet here. Are we going to see a confrontation between these two? Well, I guess that's a bit more towards that dissension that has seemingly been brewing, perhaps even under the surface, but it's definitely surfacing itself right now. As Cody Rhodes, well, he's getting out of here. He's going up to the ramp, perhaps just going to find a new seat, as the action was getting kind of close to his area. But nonetheless, the match goes on. Cody Rhodes, he's getting out of here, but Goldust, Christian, they continue to fight. As Christian dragging Goldust there. Slams him up against the ring post here. And, oh no. Christian's not going to do this. We've already seen one oh my god moment. Oh my god! Goldust is dead. Goldust is dead. You saw the way he just crumbled to the floor in a heap. That big boot. Goldust is dead. He's done. Count him out. Ref, count him out. There's no way Goldust is going to come back. That big boot, you saw Goldust just crumble to the floor. I don't even know if he's conscious at this point. He's just slumped against that ring post. Well, he's managing to walk around somehow, but I don't know if he's going to be in any sort of fighting condition. As you can see, Christian countered that weak attempted punch by Goldust. And now Christian Frankensteiner Rolls him up here. Got him stacked on his shoulders. 2 count. Wait a minute. Goldust counters. Goldust stacking Christian on his shoulders. But Christian now with a counter of his own. Goldust to counter again. 1 count. 2. Not a 2 count. Christian counters again. Goldust kicks out. Wow, back and forth these two go. I don't know how much longer Goldust is going to be able to hold on, though. He did counter there. But now it's Christian who counters. Delivers a kick to the gut of Goldust. And now he spins him around. He's setting him up. Could be thinking kill switch here. And that's exactly what he did. Christian flips the switch on Goldust as Cody Rhodes watches on. Christian hooks the leg. But that's a rope break as Goldust's arm was under the bottom rope. So this time Christian, he hooks the arm in. And that is it. Christian, he defeats Goldust here tonight. And what kind of damage did Christian just do to Goldust? Heading into Extreme Rules, Goldust only has 2 days to recover. Look at that big boot. Goldust just crumbled to the floor there. I don't know how Goldust managed to even just try to fight back in this matchup. I thought he got knocked unconscious from that big boot, the way he just fell to the floor like that. But, you know, somehow he managed to get, you know, this little exchange we had there, Goldust did have a little bit of fight left in him. But in the end, Christian, with that kill switch, it may have taken 2 pinfall attempts to make sure that he had the leg hooked. He was just a little bit unaware of his positioning, but he managed to recover from that and finish off Goldust for the victory. But that's it for this episode. Make sure to stay tuned for Extreme Rules. Keep on YouTubing.